Bickley and Marotta Mornings. Arizona Sports, the local sports leader. Bickley Blast.
Deandre Ayton is making history in his first season with the Portland Trail Blazers. He is threatening to become the first starting center in NBA history to average less than one free throw per game. Ain't that something? And really, for all the words and promises to show the world a new player, all that stuff about regaining all those lost fans, is anybody really surprised? That's what makes Ayton's return to Footprint Center so interesting. You might want to boo him for the softness he displayed in Phoenix, but you're also grateful he's somebody else's $32 million problem. And you want proof? A Dallas website features this headline this morning, quote, Mavericks catch a major break for not trading for former number 1 overall pick. And I know what I feel when I see clips of Ayton playing with that Wednesday before Thanksgiving kind of energy, when his laziness leaps off the screen, when he's setting screens on ghosts in thin air, when there seems to be a force field preventing him from stepping in the paint and venturing near the rim. Bottom line, Ayton is not even capable of putting up big numbers on a bad team. To the contrary, the lack of talent around him has made him worse on offense. And the only thing he's doing well is playing defense and rebounding, which is ironic because that's all the Suns needed him to do. So I'm going to save my appreciation for the return of Chris Paul, a player who had real lasting impact in Phoenix and a player who actually knew what it meant to be dominating.
Ain't that something?
Today's Bickley Blast brought to you by my great friends at Chapman BMW who make luxury affordable. Reminder, get on down there in the next couple of days. Tell them you're a Bickley and Marotta listener. You are getting special access to their Black Friday event.
I'm looking forward to it. Anytime we can get those matchups, and I don't know what else to say. I'm just looking forward to competing against them. It'd be fun.
Deandre and Chris were obviously part of that finals team, and just maybe just speak to what they brought in their time in Phoenix.
There's a lot of history here, history there. Deandre from the number 1 pick to making that finals run. There's a lot of development and growth. And Chris was a big part of that at the same time. So, I credit those guys. Dario, too. Dario was here before both of them. So, I got a lot of love for those guys, a lot of respect for them. And I'll be excited to compete against them.
Steph and Booker talking with Dwayne Rankin from AZ Central Sunday night after the Suns beat the Utah Jazz. And it is an interesting stretch. Not only back-to-back games, tournament game tonight, non-tournament game tomorrow, but you do have a lot of former Suns returning to the fold. Deandre Ayton tonight, Chris Paul, Dario Saric tomorrow. And interesting way that you presented that. You're going to save your appreciation for tomorrow night.
Yeah, I am. Yeah. And look, and again, I'm not trying to really necessarily be a hater, but players who've been blessed and gifted and underachieve at that level are maddening to me and to a lot of other people. And it's been that way for some time with DA. And you knew when he came out this offseason and made all those promises and talked all that stuff again, and you knew where this thing was going to end up. Deandre Ayton, by the way, is not the only former Suns big man to be struggling right now. Jock Landale, for that $32 million contract he received, he's having a rough go as well. He's not getting the playing time. They're committing to a different big.
Mm-hmm. Alperen Şengün.
That's him. The player they think is the next Nikola Jokic.
He's really good. He's really good.
Yeah, but
to spend for a team like Houston to spend $32 million on a backup center was a bit curious at the time, and it's even more curious now.
Yeah,
it's curiouser.
It's curiouser. Yeah, it is. And so I'll be curious to see what that reaction is actually going to be tonight. I think it's just going to be a weird mix of some appreciation, maybe a little jeering, and then probably just a lot of meh. It's unfortunate because, would things have been different? Would we have looked at Deandre Ayton if he wouldn't have been the number 1 overall pick? Of course. It's part of the conversation.
Yeah.
But he's also $32 million a year, and he still doesn't feel compelled to give real effort. That's their issue, not ours.
But I think, but you just hit on something there. I think Deandre Ayton believes that he is giving maximum effort,
and that's
probably the problem.
That's the issue.
But that's also that's why everybody, there was a section of Suns fans, section of NBA fans that said, "Oh man, watch Deandre Ayton break out now with Portland. Watch him. You're going to regret. You're going to look at it and see an average 25 points a game, 14 rebounds a game. People who watched him his entire career knew that was never going to happen because it wasn't opportunity that was holding him back. It was DeAndre Ayton that was holding him back. And this late into someone's career, they don't, typically all of a sudden change their ways and breakouts. Yeah. I thought maybe his scoring average would be a little bit more just because they'd have nothing on that Portland team. So that is a little surprising.
He is going into tonight's game, and I kind of thought the same way, and now I look at it differently, but he's the 5th leading scorer on a nightly basis for the Trailblazers.
And here's the thing. They traded for Robert Williams, right, from Boston?
Yeah.
He got injured.
Yes.
If he had not gotten injured, who knows what would have eventually happened with that rotation and DeAndre Ayton.
But DeAndre Ayton's scoring statistics during his time with Phoenix, especially in the last 2+ years, that was based on the talent around him, getting him opportunity. Portland doesn't have anybody getting him opportunity. Anthony Simons is out. Scoot Henderson is out. He's been a real disappointment so far for Portland. He'll get better, but so you look at DeAndre Ayton, and one of the things that people wanted to see, and maybe this was at the top of the wishful thinking list, was can he become a guy that can put the ball on the floor, take the ball to the rack, and create some of his own offense? The answer is no. Absolutely not.
Unequivocally,
he cannot do it.
Unequivocally, no. And he has no desire to do it either.
He also had that very strange quote after the trade where he said when the trade went down that he was just minding his own business, and he was working on his three-point shot because everybody was saying he couldn't shoot the three.
Right.
You know how many threes he shot this year?
Well,
Zero.
Zero?
0.0.
Wow.
But
again,
because he got interrupted in the middle of working on it. That's why.
That's why, of
Rated.
course. Yeah, but again, how about that? No NBA starting center in NBA history has ever averaged less than a free throw per game. Ever. That's a historical record.
It is, and you a phrase you used in the Blast too that and I'm paraphrasing, but it's somebody else's problem now.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that even people like me that defended DeAndre Ayton for as long as they did. A lot of that was based in wishful thinking. He's gonna get it. He's too talented not to get it. There's a relief factor that comes into play now.
Yeah.
But you don't have to worry about it under the Phoenix Suns umbrella anymore. And now they've got issues of their own, but that's not one of them.
Right, and for the interest of fairness, it's not like Nurkic has been outstanding, amazing, incredible since they got him. He's been up and down. Yeah.
And again, when you consider the price tag attached to it, there's there's something to be said for that as well.
Without a doubt.